So, Word Power Made Easy is the go to book to learn, or rather to build vocabulary for a lot of people. But this should not be your go to vocabulary book. And why I'm saying that, I'm going to go over that in this video for you guys. It's a book that you might have already heard about. It's Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. It's been in print for years and years. And by the way, this is one book that my dad, when I was in school, so maybe fifth or sixth or maybe seventh standard, that's when he got me this book, and he pushed me every single day that I need to use this book to build my vocabulary. And I kid you not, it's a very boring book, to be very honest. So that's one. But in general, I've gone through this book when I was in school, and it's been many years now. I'm 31, by the way, so it's a long time ago. However, even the print that we have for this book today, it's not going to be much useful for you to actually learn vocabulary. And the reason is very simple, guys. Our brain, we are able to retain information through repetition, right? Our brain retains information through repetition. The more something gets repeated, the more our brain feels like this is something that it needs to remember, because this happens in our life very often, right? So hot water, boiling hot water, you touch the hot water, you're afraid, and brain retains that information, right? Every time you're in front of boiling water. Now, if you don't see boiling water for many years, it's going to be a very different situation altogether. And that's how our brain learns. It's called space at repetition, right? Flashcard is a great example. But when it comes to Word Power Made Easy, once you have learned all of those lessons, and once you've gone through the lessons in the book, there's nothing you can do with that vocabulary. And that book actually is good for people who are in English speaking countries or English speaking environment. So if you're in an environment where you will get to speak English a lot, where you will get to use that vocabulary regularly, where you will have, let's say, a list of the words that you want to use regularly for yourself, and you on purpose use those words in your daily conversations, then you will be able to retain that information. Otherwise, all of the effort, the hours of practice that you'll put into that book is going to be zero. And that's why I believe that book is not really the best one, because you learn a lot of words throughout that book, right? Oh wow, I've learned so many new words, but you don't get a chance to use them in your daily life regularly. You'll go through the exercises, you'll feel great, but let's say you've been doing that, using that book for like 3 months. Are you sure you've retained all of the words that were in chapter 1? Probably no, right? So that's my point with this. So what you should do, if you already have Word Power Made Easy, great. It's not a bad book if you know what to do with those words, if you're able to use those words. Now you'll ask, I'm not in an English speaking environment. How do I use the words that I've just learned from Word Power Made Easy? The answer is pretty simple. Start reading. And I'll give you a very easy, free method to actually get books, right? What you should do, however, as you are going through that, start reading books on different topics. Could be non-fiction, could be history, could be fiction, anything that you want, right? There are tons and tons of books available on platforms like Gutenberg, which is like completely free ebooks, right? Internet Archive is completely free ebooks. I'll give you another one, Amazon. Go to amazon.in, open your account on Amazon if you don't have it already. Download Kindle app, right? Android, if you're using, Kindle app exists. iOS, Kindle app exists. PC, Kindle app exists. Download the Kindle app. Now on Amazon, in the Kindle free category, there are thousands and thousands of fiction, non-fiction, history, psychology, all of those kind of books. What you should do is you should start reading. If you're not in an environment where you're going to be able to use that vocabulary that you're learning from Word Power Made Easy, you'll need to read more. You'll need to expose yourself to the things that people say. And usually fiction is written in a way where most of the words that are going to get used by good writers in fiction, they are going to be words that you can use in your daily life. They're not going to be words that are meant to impress other people. So they are not going to be like big difficult words. It's going to be relatively simple language, so it will carry a lot of weight, it will carry a lot of practical abilities. And then, so Word Power Made Easy, 1 or 2 chapters, 1 book of fiction. Word Power Made Easy, 1 or 2 chapters, a book of fiction. Another way that you can use this combination is 10 minutes or 15 minutes every single day, Word Power Made Easy. So you are getting the words, and fiction or any sort of book as well as newspaper, right? If you do that, so 10-15 minutes of made easy, 15 minutes of reading a book, free book, Kindle Gutenberg, and 15 minutes of reading a newspaper is going to, more often than not, it's going to counter the same words or similar words that you are learning through WordPar Made Easy, and it will help you remember those words, because you'll see different context of how those words are used, because brain needs those connections, brain needs the repetition to actually go through and retain the information, right? If you're only using WordPar Made Easy, you're just wasting your time. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work in the long run. For the short run, it feels great. If you're preparing for an exam, if you're preparing for IELTS and you want to go through all of that, fine, do that. I didn't do it, and I scored a very, very good perfect band as well. So I don't personally, because I read a lot, I don't see a lot of use out of a book like this. So you need to balance both, and that's what will work for most people who are actually learning English. So that's all for today's video. These are my thoughts on the book. Do let me know what you think about the book if you've been using it already in the comments below. I will see you guys next time. Till then, take care.